Andy, welcome to SuperReturn International. Great to have you in our studio, as always. And you're featuring specifically on a panel here, a sort of specialist mid-market summit panel. So if you could just begin by characterising the opportunities in that specific market at the moment for us.
Yeah, what we're seeing is we are obviously operating in the Nordic countries and in German-speaking Europe, as well as the UK and Ireland. We see a lot of good opportunities, regardless of what the press would say. We see a lot of succession situations. We see internationalization opportunities pretty much everywhere across our core sectors, which is primarily business services. That's the majority of what we do in the smaller end of the middle market. Tons of opportunities, tons of fragmented markets that require consolidation. And then also in healthcare and industrials.
So some great opportunities out there. What would you say is key to sort of capitalising on those opportunities? I think you've talked a lot about value creation over just sort of waiting for the market to react.
Yeah, that's right. Of course, there's capital needed often to expand, but there's hands-on support needed typically. Typical situations involve entrepreneurs that are partnering with us, selling the majority of their companies as they have hit a bit of a ceiling in terms of further development, or they see the opportunity to join us as a part of a larger platform to continue to develop their business. And what's required there is really hands-on operational support, because typically those businesses have been very founder-centric, entrepreneur-centric, right? And so it requires a joint refurbishment of the organizational structures, and then make sure to also build on what's there and add where there's loads of opportunities. A typical entrepreneur is a very strong character who's very good at certain things, maybe very good at sales, maybe very good at product development, and therefore the organization around us is centered a little bit around that. And so what we find is we can unleash a lot of opportunities and potential when we get involved with the help of our value creation unit.
And tell me about what levers you do tend to pull. You talked there about, some founders having a very specific niche that they're specialist in. What do you like to think that you bring,
yes,
that you could add to that situation to help with that scale question?
Yeah. Some have to do with scaling per se. So many companies have struggled to truly internationalize, right? We're not talking about an adjacent neighboring country, but basically expansion throughout Europe. And having a very strong network of companies and individuals and people that work with us internally at Triton is super helpful with that. That's one thing. But it's also via M&A. Most of the companies that we are purchasing have never done any M&A in the past. And it's not only doing the deal, it's even more complicated and important what comes after. The integration work, how do you run the companies, how decentral versus central. And Triton, we are around for 30 years. We have done this a lot, both on larger scale, but also smaller scale. And that's where we can help a lot. And then it goes into the nitty-gritties of financial transparency, of course, and really thinking through how the organization would need to look like for the business to successfully scale. That's typically what entrepreneurs are struggling with, is how do I set myself up in a good way that I still think, I know what's going on, but at the same time I have the people to really expand and go beyond the current limits.
Because these are their babies, aren't they,
yeah,
for these founders?
Exactly,
so
that's right.
You've got to nurture them very carefully. And just looking at, you talked there about having done it a lot at Triton over the past few decades. Are there any particular sectors at the moment that you're really excited about or that you're focusing in on?
Yeah, we do a lot in business services. Business services is a very wide field, but it's also one that is still growing quite a bit and where a lot of smaller niches are quite fragmented. Typically, they're then dominated by entrepreneur-led smaller companies with 50 to 100 employees or so. But in a changing market environment with digitalization coming up, AI coming up, shortage of skilled laborers, etc., you need to form larger units to attract the talent and also be able to train your talent appropriately. That's why typically where we get involved, we install what we call an academy, where we are really training all the workers on new technologies and make sure that we're using the best of all the worlds.
That's what you like about what you do in terms of the platform you offer across
right.
all of those different areas. And how does that look geographically as well?
Geographically, the focus is on German-speaking countries, on the Nordic countries, including Finland, Denmark, and Norway, not only Sweden, and then also UK and Ireland for our smaller middle market companies. And then in terms of then expansion, in terms of M&A, it really goes across Europe, and that's really where the wider Triton platform, which is even more international, can really help.
And that's sort of a differentiator for you feel?
That's one of the differentiators, right? We certainly, most of the time when we get involved, we may be competing with a more local fund, right? We are very local in the markets where we operate in. We have an office in Helsinki, in Amsterdam, in Stockholm, obviously, in Frankfurt, in London, etc., but also in Milan, for example. And so being local yet very international is one of the differentiating factors, as is when you look at Triton. We've been around for 30 years, right? We have the larger cap strategy, we have the smaller middle market strategy, we have a credit strategy. We all work together as a team, so we freely exchange our information and make sure that whatever the larger fund is working on, we know and understand, and they know and understand what we are doing. And so we're sharing those networks, and that means that we are not accessing my 25 investment professionals in my fund, but basically more than 100 across the firm.
It has been a really challenging environment, high valuations, interest rates as they are, geopolitical kind of climate as it is. So just going forward now over the next sort of 12 to 18 months, how do you see yourselves capitalising on any opportunities there are that you've talked about there, and how will you continue to deploy in that sort of environment?
Yeah, we run two distinct strategies. One is where we take a regional champion truly international, including to the US, Asia, etc. And the second strategy is where we consolidate fragmented markets, right? Like we talked about, right? Very active buy and build strategy. And the combination of the two strategies really serve us well in a kind of, stop and go environment as we are seeing right now. Because we do a lot of M&A, we can continue to deploy capital. Because we are a strong partner to entrepreneurs, they turn to us when they have a succession challenge upcoming and then arising. So we really find opportunities everywhere, but it's hard work. If you're sitting there and waiting for the market to deliver the opportunities, that's particularly over the last 3 years that had been truly challenging. But we have completed now 6 platform transactions in the last less than 12 months, right? So we've been very active. Most of them are buy and build in a variety of countries. And one of the advantage maybe we have is I can say that I'm in charge overall. I don't mind so much where we are doing the transaction, right? So not being stuck to one specific country is what I believe is really a good advantage when it comes to active deployment. But at the same time, you need to be really local. You need to speak the local language. Otherwise, you're not going to be successful.
Nimble, proactive expertise, that seems to be what you're describing.
Absolutely.
Just finally, here at SuperReturn International, 6,000 of your colleagues from the industry here. What do you hope to take away from this week in Berlin?
Number one, obviously the network. And I'm quite curious to see whether the colleagues look at the world in the same way as we do, which is there's active hands-on support needed more than any other time. You need to have the capital, but I'm hearing more and more, and I'm curious to see what the colleagues are saying, is that you need to have your own hands-on accelerator unit, how we call it, right? There are more than 60 people that really work with the companies to make them better, to work very actively with them, and that's the future. And it takes such a long period of time to build that. It took us more than 15 years, almost 20 years, to get where we are today. So I'm glad that this is the platform that I'm working on. A lot of others will still have to keep up, right? Because the environment is challenging out there. If you just buy a company and think, everything will go by itself, those days are over.
We're hearing a lot about rolling our sleeves up here
exactly.
this week. So.
That's exactly what it is.
Andi,
that's really needed.
Always great to have you in our studio. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Good to see you.